Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mozy's first webinar for 2013. Thanks very much for joining today. We're just going to get started there now. Okay. Brief introduction. My own name is Niall Fahy. I'm the EMEA Technical Education Specialist here at Mozy. So I do all of our internal support training for our agents here in EMEA. We're based in Cork in the south of Ireland. I also do external partner trainings with our customers as well to get their support staff up to scratch. So today's webinar will go through the administration console, the web restores, and the support portal. So I'll just go through a couple of slides here first, just to give you a general outline on these concepts, and then I will actually go through a demonstration of them, and at the end we will do some Q&A. Okay. So just a brief overview. MozyPro is designed for business users, so that they can manage their backups and data from the web. So it's a centralized area whereby you can totally control what your company uses Mozy for. So it's from a centralized location so that you can assign users their quota, so on and so forth. You can set up who you want to use the backup software, how much quota they can back up, everything down to what files and folders they back up. Some definitions as I'm going through the webinar today. So the administrator is a person who the MozyPro account is assigned to. So this is the person who's designated to manage the account by the account owner. So that might be your head of the IT team. It might be a specified person within your office that is to look after as the administrator, has been assigned the administrator for Mozy. So they would be the go-to person for setting users up with Mozy. A user in this instance would be someone who's actually been assigned to manage a machine. And that is being backed up by MozyPro. So that would be probably more than likely an end user, so somebody within your office that has been given a MozyPro account to back up their own personal computer or their work computer. Okay. Resources. So these are the licenses, storage quota, and machines that are used by MozyPro. So we have two types of licenses at Mozy. We have a desktop license and a server license. So desktop license is designed for desktop and laptops, computers, for backing up basically office documents, pictures and media files, the files that you would need for your day-to-day work in your job. A desktop license, is just a note, will not work on a server operating system. Okay. The server license is designed for server operating systems, but it can also run on a desktop operating system. So it's designed to run on Windows servers, so like Windows Server 2003 operating system, Windows 2008 server operating system, but it can also run on desktop computers, so with your Windows 7s and your Windows XP and Vista also. Okay. A server license key also is needed if you wish to back up a network share or any network applications that you may be using within the office. So how do you log into your MozyPro admin account? So administrators will log in at can log in at secure.mozy.com/login, mozy.com/login, or mozypro.com/login. Okay, only an administrator can access the admin console, and you can have more than one administrator per account. So you can assign sub-administrators if you wish. Okay. So what can the admin console actually do? So the admin console actually has many features, and it's quite a powerful tool if used to its full ability. So some things you can do within the administration console, for example, you can purchase your resources, so your additional licenses or storage quota that you may need. Now I realize some of you might be on bundle price plans whereby you just purchase by storage amount and you can create your own license keys. But again, from within the Manage Resources section within the Administration Console, you can manage all that. So how much quota is assigned to each user, what type of license keys you want to create, and so on and so forth. You can also create and manage user groups and also users' machines. You can create and manage administrators if you wanted to create, as a root admin, if you wanted to create a sub-administrator to look after a certain section or certain users, you can also do that from within the Administration Console. Okay. You can also, if you have reporting, the reporting function enabled in your account, you can also create reports of backups and usage and backup failures, etc. from within the Administration Console. And most importantly as well, from online, you can restore users' files. Okay, so if you have a person in your particular user within your office who's, for example, their computer may die or their laptop may be stolen, you can restore their files from the web admin console for them. Okay. And there's many more of the functionality and features, and we'll go through some of them at the end when I'm going through the examples. So what can the web restore window do? So the web restore is the second function we're going to talk about today. So the web function has many features. So what you can do from the web restore window is you create direct downloads. So of small files or groups of files, if you wanted to, basically you can do a direct download and it streams. It's similar to streaming the file down, or if you, for example, if you open an attachment within an email that you might have received, it'll basically download it directly to your machine straight away. You can create a restore using the download manager as well. Also, if you wanted to create a larger restore, and this you will download the Mozy Restore Manager using this to then download your files through this Restore Manager onto your machine. It works similar to if anybody uses the Firefox browser, web browser. When you go to open a link or download anything from while using Firefox, you will get a download manager opens up for you, and you can see a list there of the things that you've downloaded. The Mozy Web Restore Manager acts the same basically. It queues up your restore for you, and it starts it and downloads in the background and keeps track of the list of files that you're downloading. Archive package restores. So this is one of our original ways of doing web restores, and it's basically what it does is it creates zipped files with your files and folders within. So you will create an archive package of about 20 gigs, say, for example, and it will create multiple links, maybe about 10 or so links with zip files on them, and you will just download those individual files then, okay, to restore your data. DVD restores are available also. So generally we would do these for users who have large amounts of data that they want to restore and they don't want to do it over the wire. So in that instance, they can request a DVD restore, and we will put their files and folders onto DVDs, and these will be posted out to them. Okay. We also do a hard drive restore for those users who have files greater than about 100 gigs or so. And again, we put your files and folders that you request onto the hard drive, and this is shipped out to you. So logging into the support portal. The support portal is the third section we're going to cover today. Okay. The support portal is basically where you will go if you're having any issues with Mozy. From here, you can log in and register a case with Mozy, or you can access live chat support with some of our support agents, or again, you could call into Mozy support, and from here you will get your support ID. To go to the support portal, it's just support.mozy.com. Okay, and to log into your personal support section page, you would just go to support.mozy.com and click the login button in the top right hand corner of the page. So as I was saying, what can you do in the support portal? So the support portal allows you to open a support case with our agents here. You can also review existing cases that you may have opened, and you can also from there obtain your support ID to call Mozy support. Okay, so that was just a brief slide deck that we're going to go through. I'm now going to go through actual examples. So the first example I'm going to go through is of the admin console. Okay, so I'm just going to exit out of here. I'm just going to open up my web window here in Firefox. Okay, so here I am at secure.mozy.com/login. Okay, and I'm just going to log in here. Okay, so as that's loading there, you will have the ability also, if you have sub-administrators on your main account, to set up a subdomain if needs be. In that instance, you will get a login page like this, and your end users can also log in this way. Okay. So in this instance, this is the admin login. So as you can see here, it changes slightly. So this one is actually mozysupporteducation.mozypro.com. So if you were to use a subdomain, which you can activate it if you want your end users to log in online to create their own web restores, you can contact support and they can set up a subdomain for you on your account. It will generally follow that format. So what your company name first.mozypro.com. Okay, so my dashboard is loaded up there. Okay, so for many of you, this is familiar, the web admin console. Okay, so from here, directly in front of us, what we can see is the initial dashboard. Okay, so we have a graph there of your backups for your most recent backups. Okay, so in this instance, I only have one machine on my education account here for my webinars. Okay, and as you can see here, it'll give you a breakdown on the left. The backup overview, the pie chart will give you a quick breakdown on your backups. So as you can see here, the larger orange section is backups over a week old. The yellow section is never backed up. The green section is backups within the last 24 hours. And the little blue section is backed up within 1 week. Okay, and if you click on any of these links here, it'll open up the list of machines. So if you wanted to see which machines haven't backed up in over a week, click on this hyperlink here, and it will open up in the section below here, below the machines section here, those machines which have been haven't backed up within a week. To the right, it just gives you a basic graph here of your backups. So as you can see here, in green, it's the backups made, okay, over the past few hours, and the red part is failures. Okay, so obviously your own graph may have more, would have more kind of a better look to it, probably more likely, because you would have more machines on your account, so it would be more demonstrative of what's actually happening with your users on your account. Okay, so from your dashboard on the left hand side, now it is as well to remember that on this support account I have a lot of roles that some of you may be looking at your own dashboard and not recognizing some of the roles that I have here on the left. That's simply down to, as this is an education account that I have here, I have all the roles and all the permissions, nearly all the roles and all the permissions enabled, so when I'm going through training with various different groups, I can show people. So you wouldn't, depending on the type of account you have, you might have all the roles and permissions here on the left, as they may not be relevant to the type of account you have, or they may be things that you might not necessarily use. Okay, so the main section which you'll probably be using would be this section here, users. Okay, so we click on users there, it'll open up our user sections. From here we can, okay, so just give me 2 seconds there. Okay, sorry about this now. Okay, so as I was saying, so in the user section here, if we just click on search list users, okay. Okay, so as you can see here, these are a couple of the users on this account that I have here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm looking after a webcast. So this is the user group. So this administration view that I have here, okay, is part of an overall support education administration console. I've been set up here on this one. I've set myself up as a sub administrator, so I can only see the users of this particular user group, this webcast user group. Okay, so as you can see here from the user section, we can list users. We can see what users are underneath our account. Okay, and if I click here, if I click on any of these users, blue hyperlink, it will open up below and it'll show me from here the information on that user. Okay, so from here, okay, you can see the user's email address, so their username. Okay, the name of the user, the user group they're part of, and their machine is here. Okay, you can also see from here, I can also log in as the user. I could change the user's email if needs be, and change the user's password. I can also, if needs be, delete the user. Again, certain things like that you may not see depending on your permissions that you have been granted as an administrator. Okay. So from here you can see my machine. So the name of my machine is Niles PC. The encryption type I've used the default encryption. How much storage I'm currently using against how much storage I actually have. Okay. When was my last backup? It was less than an hour ago. And here's my license key, and I can see that's the desktop key. And I also have the ability from there to restore files. Okay. So if it's a situation where I've reached my quota, I can just click here on change, click in there, and I can assign myself quota. As you can see there, a little pop-up is once I clicked inside, the little white box popped up there to say max 20 gigabytes. So that's how much storage that is available and it's free within this user group and within this partner for my users. So if you don't have any free quota to assign, you will not be able to increase that from 2 gigabytes, and you will need to increase your storage amounts. Okay. From there, you can click on the machine, and it will give you further information on the actual machine you're using to back up. Okay, information. This will show a small little information table beneath it. So as you can see here under backups, I have a small little table here showing my past backups and what's occurred in them. This is the same kind of table that the end user will see when they open up the history tab within the client on their actual machine. Okay. So the difference being that on the client-side version, so when they open up their actual client from their desktop, so this client here, once they open that up, it's more, the history tab there is more interactive, so that if they got an error message like I've gotten here, account error 10, from within the client, if you opened up your history tab, you see here it's the same information, okay? But the account error 10 is actually a hyperlink. So if I click on that, it'll take me to the support area and give me a brief description of what that error is. Okay. So as you can see, it's near the exact same. It's the exact same information that you get from the client that's posted here as well online. Okay. So this just gives you a basic time the backup started, what type of backup it was, how long it lasted, and the result of that backup. Okay. What else can you do from within the administration console? you can add new users. Okay. Again, you can assign if you assign a user group if you have the option for user groups. If you don't, they will get assigned to the default user group. So every account that's set up in Mozy, there's one user group and at the start point, and that's the default user group. If you have the ability to add more user groups, then you can do that, but you will always have to keep a single default user group. Okay, and all users will go into that user group by default, and you can assign them out from there. Okay, so if you wanted to add a new user, you can do it this way. This is one of two ways where you can fill in their name, the number of keys you want to assign that user, and their email address, and how much storage you want to give. Once you do that and you click Save Changes, that will email the user, and it will, in that email, it will give them their license key, and it will give them a download link for the MozyPro client. Okay. For user groups, okay, so in this instance, I have only one user group on this account, so this is my default user group. Okay, so from here, if I open it up, I can see how many desktop keys I have within this user group, how many server keys I have, and how many users. Okay, a user group can be used if you have the ability to create user groups. User groups can be used for different reasons. One being you may want to split people up per department in your company, for example. So you might want to have a finance department group, and you might want to have an IT department, customer services, so on and so forth. And what you can do is you can divide up your user groups that way, and you could have somebody administer that particular user group. Okay. So from here, you can see the users that are part of the user group, the keys you have, who's the administrator on this user group, and client configuration. Okay, so that's one of the things you can do from the web, is create a client configuration. So a client configuration from the Mozy servers, so you can create a client configuration, as you can see here, you can create for desktop licenses or for server licenses. So for example, if you wanted to have a uniform client configuration for all your users in a particular user group, you could do that. So from online, you can create the configuration, so what the user can and can't back up, when they're going to back up, so you can schedule their backups for them from the centralized configuration. And when they download the client, this configuration will be set for them already, and then all they need to do then is just leave it run in the background, so they wouldn't have to have much more interaction with the actual client any longer, unless they want to add in any more files or folders that don't fall into the configuration that you've assigned them. Okay, these configurations can be created as a guideline, or they can be created and forced to be used. So you could limit, for example, if you had go back to our example a second ago, a finance department, and you only wanted them to back up finance-related documents, so for example Excel and any accounting software they might be using or anything like that, then you could lock down those file types as the only ones that they were able to back up, so that they wouldn't be able to back up maybe pictures or music files or anything like that. So it would save you on quota being used for files that are not necessarily business necessary. Okay. So how do you do that configuration? Okay. So from here in configuration, you click on client configuration. Okay. And from here, what you do is you just give the configuration a name. Okay, so you give it a name, so webinar. Select the license type you want it to be used for, so we're going to use it for desktop, and hit next. What I'll open up here then is a preferences area, which are just the preferences that similar to the preferences that you will see within the client that you download and install on your machine. Okay, so these are just general options. Okay, so you have all general options here, like, So you can, don't show MozyPro in the virtual drive in my computer. So that's here. So don't show this virtual drive here. Okay. You can pop a Mozy status window after every backup. You can show advanced backup set features. Don't allow users to select or deselect files in the file system tab. So here what you do is if you go through these options and you see one that you want, you just click it as a setting. Okay? So you just click it as a setting like that and it becomes a setting. So when somebody installs that, it installs their software, they will pull down the setting. If you just have it set as a setting, they can change it if they want to. If you don't want them to change it, you just click on lock. Okay, and that stops the user from being able to change that setting. For options there that don't have a lock option, it's because they're an either opt-in or opt-out option. So like for example, this option here, don't allow users to add or edit backup sets. Obviously, if you set that as a setting, because it's an opt-in or opt-out kind of a question, if you've opted in for it, you don't want the users to be able to add or edit backup sets. Therefore, you don't need to lock that because they're not allowed to do it. Okay? So again, you can go through that and you can select your options. From scheduling, you can select what type of scheduling they use. So do you want them, you can set the parameters for their automatic backups. You could also set them for scheduled backups. And then you can just tick this option here to force the user to use these scheduling options. If you just set them here and don't tick this option to force users, it'll just set them it will set them there, but the user could go into their client on their machine and change them if needs be, if they wanted to. Okay. Bandwidth throttling, again, you do the same thing. You can enable a bandwidth throttle and you can force the throttling of the user's bandwidth. Backup sets then, these are the same backup sets as the user will see on their machine. Okay. So again, you have the option here to make them a setting and lock them. Okay, so these are the various default backup sets that Mozy creates. Okay, you can view and edit these if you wanted to. If you wanted to change particular areas to search in, so where to search is this section here. The rules are the types of files you want to search. Okay, and if you want to, you can create your own backup set. Okay, so if there's particular files or folders that you want, or even areas that you want to search in for particular files and folders, you can create that custom backup set yourself. Okay, so that's client configurations. So we will do a separate webinar on each of these individual topics. This webinar is just meant as a general overview of these topics. Okay, and if there's anything that in specific that you want to ask a question on, we can cover it at the end. Okay, so again, if you have any issues with resources, you can come in here to the change plan section. Okay, and from here you can change your plan type. Okay, and what I'm going to do now just at this moment is I'm just going to log out of this particular account that I have here, and I'm just going to log into another account just to show you the managed resources section that is there now, and also some of the bundled plans. Okay, so just to show for anybody who's using a bundle account what they might see. Okay. Okay, so okay, so in this account is just a bundle pricing plan account, and I just wanted to show you the small differences in the resources section that most of you will probably be seeing now, as opposed to my old training account. Okay. So from within here, as you can see now, the options that I have available to me here now in this role are much more limited as opposed to my training account there a minute ago. So in the resources section, okay, what you have now is your change plan, okay, is now where you go to if you want to add additional resources to your account. Okay, so what you will see here is your current plan highlighted, and if you wish to change the plan, you just select the next one. Okay, so as you can see here, it's telling me which my current purchase is, okay, and the additional plans if I want an additional plan. Okay, so if I want to change to the 100 gigabit plan, so you can see now the submit button has become an option, and it's just telling me here what the change is and what my updated plan is. Okay, add-ons are here, so if I want a server package, so the server package will allow me to use server license keys if I want to back up server OSs or NAS devices or network storage or anything like that. Okay, if you're using an itemized account, the only difference here is that you will see the individual breakdown per license key and per gigabyte of storage. Okay, manage resources is now where you want to go to if you want to assign quota or any storage or anything like that. Set up users, so from here you now will see how much account storage you have, how much is unallocated, okay, and from here your desktop and your server section, you can change how much quota you assign to each. So you're purchasing the 10 gigabytes as a bundle of storage, and it's not assigned out to is it desktop storage or server storage. You have the ability to change that now with the bundle price plans. Okay, you buy the 10 gigabytes of storage. It's not any type of storage until you assign what you want it to be. And if you want to change it to desktop storage or you want to change it to server storage, you just come in here, hit the change one, and put in what you want. So if I put in 2 gigabytes there, submit. Okay, what that'll do now is make 2 gigabytes of storage available for desktop storage. Okay, here are my license keys that I've created, and if I want to, instead of what like we did a while ago is the add user section, whereby we fill in the user's name and we get their put in how many license keys we want to give them. From here what we can do, and this is similar to the old assign keys section, okay, you just put in the user's email address here and then come down here and hit assign. If you tick this option here to send the email, what happens is when you click the assign button, it will send the user the email with their license key and the link to download the client. Okay. If we want to add new keys, we just come here to create keys. Because we have the server pack enabled, we can select what type of license keys we want to create and the number of keys we want to create. Okay. Again, with bundle plans, they come with unlimited license keys. Okay, so that's just the administration console, a quick overview of it. If there's any questions on anything in particular, we can go back over in the Q&A at the end. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the support portal. Okay, so we come here to support.mozy.com. Okay, without logging in, you can go to the documentation section. You can come into the community and look at any of the forums that are there, or any of the chats that are going on there within the forums between customers. And the community is also monitored by the support, the level 2 support agents. They monitor that community as well, and there is a moderator on it as well. The Knowledgebase gives you all our Knowledgebase articles and any current. The Knowledgebase is actively updated throughout the day, because the Knowledgebase is actually updated by our support agents. So as they encounter issues, they write up Knowledgebase articles that are published externally for customers' use. So if we see any issues happening, that we can get out the correct steps for users out there as soon as we can. You'll also find more established Knowledgebase articles for the basic error messages that would occur a lot, or of any error messages that may have occurred previously. Okay, to log in, you're just clicking up the top corner here. Okay. Again, you just log in with your username and password. Okay. And this will redirect me to my support. Okay, so here now I'm logged in. You have my welcome Nile message. I still have my same view here with community, knowledge base, and so on and so forth. But I can go to my support here. Okay. From my support, I can get my support ID from here. Okay. I can set up I can click here and start a live chat if I wish to speak to a support agent straight away. And I also have my phone numbers. Okay, so if I'm calling, if I want to call the US, UK, or Ireland. Okay. Also from here, I can create a new case if I wish. So if I have a new issue on one of my machines, I can create a case directly from there. Alternatively, it'll also show here my existing cases. Alternatively, you go into live chat, speak to an agent there, and they can create a case for you or try to work with you and resolve the issue straight away. But if you don't have time to chat with an agent right now, you can create a case also. Okay. So your cases, your existing cases are here. So as you can see here, you click on that, it'll bring up the case details for you. Okay. So your case number, the date it was created, the status. So here it's awaiting my reply. Okay, so the support agent has posted a message. It's now awaiting my reply. I can close the case if I feel it's finished. Gives me a subject, the description. Okay, so as you can see, this is just a test case. And here I have an option to add in a comment. So as you can see here, one of our support agents has added in a comment. I can read it there. If they put in an email, it will appear here. Okay, and I can open it up. And I can also attach files. Okay, so if I want to update this case, okay, so I'll just put in reply, add, okay, and that gets added in there to my case, so my reply, okay. Updates the case, and now it's in status customer reply received, and the support agent will see that within his support window when he's looking at his case queue. Okay, so this is the My Support area. It's very simple, straightforward to use. As I said, your support ID is your main one for when you're calling in, your live chat, and your phone numbers. Okay, and your existing cases will be here. And if you want to create a new case, you're just clicking on there. Okay, and just filling in the few bits and pieces here. So which device it is, the status of the case, new, your case reason, subject, and a brief description. Okay, and you submit it then, and that will create a case within our support agent's queue for you. Okay, so the last thing I'm just going to go show you is the restore window. Okay, so I'm just going to jump back out here. Okay, so we're just going to go through the restore window now, and we'll just give you a brief overview of that and how to interact with it. Okay, so here I'm going to open up my user and click the option to restore files. Okay, that will open up this window for me and will bring me to my web restore interface. Okay, so from here you have your dashboard, which just gives you your profile information, the devices you have on this account, okay, and your preferences, okay, and your download history. Here lists my devices, so the machines that I have on the account. If you're one of the users using the stash beta, that tab will also appear here, okay, with your stash account. And if you have that ability, you can upload directly to your stash as well from the web restore, from the web interface here, this web interface. Okay, so if you click into your machine here, okay, you then, once you select the machine, it will give you options here on the right hand side in your actions panel. Okay, You can also see from here we have the option for notifications, your download history, and your manage account. And if you want to log out, that's where you do it as well. The emergency restore here is only intended for restoring all your files and folders. So why would you do that? Would be an instance that if you purchased a new machine, for example, purchased a new desktop or new laptop and you wanted to restore all your files from your previous machine onto your new machine, then you would create an emergency restore. If your laptop, computer, its hard drive died, you needed all your files and folders, you would use emergency restore. And so and similar situations like that. It's not meant for a day-to-day restore if you needed a couple of files. Okay, so from here, so you see I can select my C drive here, and the options I get are here now. So I can download now, I can change the date, clear my selection, or more download options. More download options, okay, opens up a wizard. It asks me to give a name to the restore, so I'm going to call it webinar. And then it gives me the options that I have. Okay, so download using the Mozy Restore Manager, okay, or download compressed archives, like we spoke of a while ago. There will be a third option here for users who are based in the US, and that would be for media restores. Okay, so this account is based out of EMEA, so we don't have that option at the moment. Okay, so basically you just select them which one you want. So I want the Restore Manager, hit Next. So it's telling me that the restore package has been created successfully, and now it's telling me that I need to download the Mozy Restore Manager. Okay? If you've created a restore previously and you've used the Restore Manager, it will recognize, if you're using the same browser and cookies were enabled, it will recognize that you've downloaded the Restore Manager already, and you can, the option here to begin download will actually be clickable straight away. Okay? Also, it will have a little option across the bottom here that to give you a hyperlink to download the Restore Manager again in case you wanted to, in case it had been a while since you had installed it. Okay, and once you begin the download, it starts streaming directly through the Restore Manager onto the location on your desktop. Okay. Download now is the direct download, so as I said a while ago, similar to opening an attachment in an email. It will download it straight away to your desktop. This option here often confuses people, include deleted files. So what it means by that is files that you may have deselected for backup in the last 30 days. So say, for example, you accidentally deselected your My Documents folder by mistake one day when you're changing or adding in some other files and folders, you accidentally unselected it. That file stays on our servers for 30 days from when it was unselected, just in case it was a mistake and you reselect it again. So in this instance, what it means on the web restore interface is deleted files are those files that stay on our servers for the 30 days before they're removed. Okay? So if you deselect a file today, any file on your machine, it stays on our servers for 30 days before it's permanently deleted. Okay, and that's that option there. So if you wanted to include your deleted files, you tick that option. And any file that was unselected for backup within the last 30 days, you will now be able to see it. Okay, so that's just the web restore interface. Okay, so I'm going to leave the last 15 minutes there now to questions and answers, or if we need more time, we can run on. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? So you can just pop them into the questions section if there are any questions. And just while we're waiting, if there anybody typing at the moment, we will be running our webinars monthly. So this was January's webinar, and next month will be run again at the same time. So we'll be aiming for the second last Wednesday of every month for our webinars going forward for 2013. Okay, and we will try to have the invitation out to you 2 weeks in advance. And apologies to anybody who had any issues with the registration link for today's webinar. I know there was one or two people had contacted support that they were getting redirected. I think that was just an issue with the distribution list that we had used. It had added in something to the add in part of the link for the web address. Brett, I'm just putting together a topic list for the webinars. What I will do is once I have it created, I will get my colleague Blair to send it out to the distribution list for these webinars. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll send it myself directly to you also. Okay, so just to confirm that I will be creating a list. At the moment, I'm just in the process of creating that list for the rest of the year, and once I have that done, I will send it out to the distribution list. There are any other questions? Okay, so I'll just leave it there for another 5 minutes and see if there's any more questions from people. For those of you, if you've no more questions and you're happy enough, thanks very much for joining today's webinar, and hopefully we'll see you again in February.